Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, December 6th, 2022 meeting of the Ione City Council. The City Council welcomes, appreciates, encourages participation in City Council meeting. The City Council reserves the right to reasonably limit the time for total public comment on a particular notice agenda item as it may deem necessary. Full staff reports and documents are available for public review at the city office of the city clerk, City Hall, 1 East Main Street, Island, California. At this time, we'll now call the roll.
Councilmember Atlas.
Here.
Rhodes.
Here.
Member Ratton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Commandant.
Here.
And Mayor Epperson.
Here. At this time, please join me in pledging the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If there's no additions, changes, or corrections, I will entertain a motion to approve this evening's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Presentations and announcement. There are none this evening. At this time, we'll now have public comment. Note this is the time for members of the public who wish to be heard on matters that do not appear on the agenda. Persons may address the city council at this time on any subject within the jurisdiction of the Ione City Council. And please be mindful of the 4-minute time limit per person.
I won't need near that much. Gary Thomas, I sit on your special district tax committee. I know everybody's been busy and so forth, but it's been about 6 months, I think we've had, or 5, since we've had our last meeting. If we can get back on track on that, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Very good. Anyone else? Anyone online? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close public comments and on to item F, the consent calendar. There are 4 items. If there's no questions, additions, or discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve altogether. Any discussion or comments? All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oops, sorry. I will say it.
To share.
It's a 5-0 vote carries. Public hearing there isn't this evening, and on to our regular agenda. Item number 5, authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with El Dorado Disc Sports Foundation, EDS, for purposes of allowing Amador Chain Anglers Disc Golf Club, the ACADGC, to utilize and maintain Howard Park Disc Golf Course, HPDGC.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. All of our major activities in Howard Park have an agreement with the city, Little League, soccer, the horse arena, tennis, disc golf until now did not have any kind of agreement with the city, which technically did not allow them to maintain the property because the property owner is the city. So the purpose of this agreement is to give the disc golfers access to their course, which I believe is 16 holes, allows them to maintain the course as they see fit based on their own rules and regulations of the game, and to provide in-kind services to the city. So they would maintain the course, they would do brush clearing, they would do any maintenance that's required to keep the 16 holes operational. And it spells out all of the details of their responsibilities and the city's responsibilities as the property owner. And it deals with insurance issues, liability issues, indemnity issues, all of the things that we worry about as a city government. And so this would allow them to have regular access without asking permission every single time they want to be on the course and to maintain it, and gives them ongoing responsibilities and permissions to actually take care of the course on an ongoing basis. I think this is they were extremely cooperative in the process of negotiating the agreement. The El Dorado Disc Sports Foundation is a 501c3. It is a legal nonprofit corporation. They have a board of directors. And they are capable of honoring this agreement through their nonprofit. And Amador Chain Anglers Disc Golf Club is part of the El Dorado Disc Sports Foundation nonprofit. I don't see him tonight,
He's not here.
but I worked pretty closely with Mr. Lee Lockhart on this. And I also worked with their representative from El Dorado, Sharon Copel. So we worked through all the issues. It's fairly straightforward. It's not overly complicated. It just gives them permission to be on the property and to maintain it. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I know the school district owns some of that land. How do we bifurcate that, or how is that piece?
It is, what we should do, I think, at this point is talk to the school district about, there is a small portion that technically is on school district property. And we should talk to them about either doing a lot line adjustment or altering the use of that property if they don't want to use it for anything else.
Yeah, I know that cemetery too, that I've mentioned before, there's that property line needs to be adjusted also. It's just kind of a mess. There's two pieces. The city park actually encroaches on the cemetery, and then on the school part there too, there's a part of the golf course. It's always been, it's viewed as the park, but I know we're out there clearing brush a while back here, so you can see where the old property line was and the barbed wire fence. Was just basically it was taken out just because it was dangerous. But any other technical questions from council?
I think this should go back to Parks and Rec. They never got to approve this. And you're right, Dan, probably a quarter of this is off the property. And plus it completely wipes out the BMX track, which is a very important feature right now, especially what happened in the last couple of weeks here in Ione. So I think it should go back to Parks and Rec.
Okay. Any other technical questions?
And I did speak to someone on Parks and Rec, and they said they had no clue this was.
Any response?
It went to Parks and Rec a few months ago. They saw the agreement.
They did not. It was there.
Yeah.
This is the first time I saw this,
The map or the agreement?
the map. I saw part of the agreement.
Okay.
Not the map. And I don't think we can do the agreement unless we know what we're agreeing on the map.
Yeah, we'd be disagreeing to the part that the city owns. I don't know, that's a huge problem. But the map shows.
You know, Parks and Rec wants to have some say so in this.
And you know what they want to say so about, is it?
Mostly the BMX track and the school property.
Okay. All right, any other technical questions from council? Public comment?
The BMX track was there first and it was really active, and it's more for use than that Frisbee thing. There was more kids use that BMX track than ever use that Frisbee thing. And it was quite a competition. They had some state competitions here when they had that. And I just think it should be, I don't care if they have that on there, but it should be able to use a BMX track, should be able to be put in. It was there before. For a long time. Thank you.
No public comment? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close public comment. I mean, the BMX track, I mean, that's historically where it was at. I don't know that this agreement would have anything to do with that. I mean, it would be. Oh, that's where you make a motion. I'm sorry. I thank you for keeping it straight here. So I'll, with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve or to deny.
You made the motion?
But I'll entertain a motion. Want to make a motion?
I got a question. So after the motion's made.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll make the motion to
Approve.
approve this.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All right, with that, we'll have discussion.
Yeah, so does this preclude BMX from using the area? Because I'd like to see BMX be able to use it, so.
Original BMX track is right there.
Right.
Right, drew that. That's the track right here.
Right. But I'm just saying that, my question is, will BMX not be able to use this? I mean, is there some kind of sharing agreement with disc golf and BMX?
I talked to Lee a long while back about this because I met with Charles Dudley and we were talking about the track and because one of the goals, I think it might still be in one of the turns. And Lee didn't seem to have any problem with changing the order of where the goals are at. I think it's just, this is more just because they're already out there. They're pretty active. They're out there at least once or twice a month. I see him out there all the time. He always has posts on the internet. This would just give us and them some legal cover to be able to hold tournaments and things. And as far as the layout, I don't think that's something that the Parks and Rec couldn't revisit and make some changes to. And Lee seemed pretty cooperative when I talked to him about moving goals. It didn't seem like it was like a big fuss or anything. It was just, he put them all in on his own back, and I don't think he has a problem making changes if we need to.
Because I mean, looking at this, if you move 13 tee box up a little bit and maybe relocate 16, I'm going to call it green, but I know it's not a green. It looks like a few little tweaks on here and you almost clear out the BMX track except for hole number 12. So,
So I think right now, currently, those don't even exist there.
okay, so they're not even there.
Right. This is the only one I think that encroaches a
Okay.
little bit on it, but yeah, I think that's his plan to, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, to move that over here.
Right.
So these aren't even here then.
Oh, currently, yes, those don't exist.
Okay.
I think in my mind, the biggest issue is they're already using it right now. The disc golf is, and it would be in the city's best interest to have a legal agreement in place. Some incident or accident. And then as far as the actual layout and things, that stuff all can be changed and moved around later. I don't see why that would be a problem. It would just give them legal cover. So if something should happen.
Yeah, I just want to see them share it. So as long as that can happen,
And we could put that in
because
the,
I want to see disc golf and BMX.
Sure.
Both.
well, I think we could probably, we could actually adjust the motion and say that we would, make that a part of it, that we'd approve the contract in concert with the BMX and the Parks and Rec discussing that issue on, a separate, but I mean, I think that could be easily done. This just gives us cover and them covers in my mind.
Is anybody currently maintaining, including the city, the BMX track?
No, we got together and discussed what it was like, and the guys went out there, they cut down a bunch of trees and moved a bunch of brush around. They basically just tore out all the briars that were there. It hasn't been used, I don't know, 20, 30 years at least. It was very active when it was being used, but it hasn't been used in at least 20 years, or maybe more than that even, I'd say. I'm not sure anybody would know when the last time it was used.
Say in the 80s.
80s. So there, yeah. I mean, and right now the disc golf course, they do actively use it at least twice a month. There's guys out there. I was out there a while back, and I meet people all the time. I was asking the guy, so how in the world did you find this place? He goes, oh, there's an app. It's a disc golf course app. Somebody from, I don't know, somewhere in the region just showed up and he found it on his app. I'm like, okay, well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
my brother-in-law came out and tried to find it too,
Yeah. No, it's there.
because it's on the app.
Yeah, people are using it. So I mean, I think agreement is probably just legal common sense, but not up to just me.
Is there any problem with us putting a caveat on this that the BMX track would be in a tandem use of the property?
Well, the BMX track is there. It's not overlapping with disc golf except for a very small piece of it. There will be a update to the Howard Park Master Plan, which will be in front of the Parks and Rec Commission probably in a month or two. We'd like to do a stakeholder meeting first, as requested by Council Member Plamondon last month, to get all of the users that are currently there. So Little League, soccer, the horse arena, tennis, disc golf. And if the BMX rep wants to be there, that would be fine too. And get all of them together for a whole host of other issues, including parking and traffic but there will be an update to the master plan, an amended master plan to the park that will then resolve all of the issues of who is where and what part of the park do they get to use and what agreements do they have. So all of that will be part of the master plan that will be coming soon.
And Lee knows that the whole thing's doesn't belong to the city.
So can we remove this map from this contract and agree to allow disc golf to use what they have currently and have access to the property? My concern is this map is mapped out on top of the BMX court. It is infringing it to some extent if they want to use it. And rather than give them, say, this is what we're agreeing to this map. If we remove the map, we are agreeing to allow them into the disc golf club that is there, not what their future use of the disc golf is. So if we can not, that this map, we don't agree that this map is final. I'm afraid by agreeing to this contract with this map in it, we're agreeing that this is what it's going to be. And this is what we're agreeing to.
So is that a motion then?
That is a motion to pull the map from the contract.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion on the pulling the map? With that, okay, this is the motion to take the map off of the agreement. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No? Okay. So it's the motion passes for, please stop talking. I mean, my goodness, dudes, have some respect. It's 4-1-0 is the vote on the piece to remove the map from the agreement, and that would be that pass. So now we're just back to the original agreement, the written portion of it. Any other discussion on that? No? Okay.
I just want to clarify that there's no discussion of the amount of space or that this is going to be utilized that would reference that map in this contract.
I don't think it does. It just has the
I didn't
address. of the
remember, I did
park.
not see it, but I just want to make sure.
It just has the park's address. I think we're okay there.
If that's the case, then I'm good with that.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion in front of us to accept the agreement between the El Dorado Disc Golf Sports Foundation and the Amador Chain Anglers Disc Golf Club to utilize and maintain the Howard Park portion of the district disc golf course. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carries 4-1-0. On to item I, reports, communications from city manager.
Yes, just a couple of items in terms of some events that are occurring. The Christmas tree lighting ceremony at Veterans Park at 7 p.m. on Friday, December 9th. That's this Friday. Christmas at the Castle at Saturday, December 10th. That's this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Of course, the Christmas parade on Main Street is on Saturday, December 10th at 11 a.m. And the fire department's Candy Cane Patrol, which started on December 4th and ends on December 11th. And those are all the things happening. That's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. Any comments or questions? Item J, council comments, committee reports, future agenda items. Councilman Atlan.
Just the Caltrans will begin repairing Main Street here on next Monday.
Oh, good.
After the parade. So they were going to do it this week.
They were.
But well, they were going to do it during homecoming too.
Yeah.
Parades.
And just so you know, this has taken 5 years to get these guys down here, or maybe 6 years. So maybe someone could keep an eye on them this time, make sure they do it right. Maybe people that used to work at Caltrans so that they don't cover up the drains. It's a lot easier if we get them to do it right when they're doing it instead of after it's done. And then it takes 5 years for them to come back. So, but that should be good. Hopefully it doesn't rain next week.
Councilman Rhodes.
Nope, I had nothing.
All right. Councilman Ratton.
Nothing.
Rodney. Vice Mayor Palmonte.
He already answered my question.
All right. And I don't have anything either, actually. It's been pretty quiet. With that, we will now enter closed session, conference legal counsel, existing litigation, section 54956.9 of the Government Code, Amador Court Case number 22-CV-12824 Amador Regional Sanitation Authority, ARSA versus City of Ione and California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, also known as the CDCR. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close public comments and we'll now proceed to closed session.
And I'm going to recuse myself of closed session.
I'm going to recuse myself as well.
Council may the record show, are you still recording? May the record show that Councilman Rhodes recused himself as well as Councilman Atlan. Council has returned from closed session. Let the minutes record that Dominic Atlan, Councilman Atlan recused himself based on conflict. Stacy Rhodes recused himself, Councilman Rhodes, with no reason given. And with that, the disposition is the information was received, direction was given to staff on the one item that was litigation section 54956.9 of the Admiral Government Code. Court case number 22-CV-12824, Amador Regional Sanitation Authority versus the City of Ione and the CDCR. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.